In this edition of The Great Game, dear viewer, I'm going to talk to you about one bill and one notification, as well as one missed opportunity on the part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi vis-à-vis Punjab. Now, my article in the Tribune newspaper on Saturday morning, some of you may have read it, is called exactly that, two reversals and a missed opportunity. And let me explain to you what this is about. But before I do that, dear viewer, I would really urge you to subscribe to the website of the Tribune, to our YouTube channel, follow us on our social media across all the handles, and do tell us what you think about your work. Now, back to my column, which is called The Great Game, and that's what this video column is also about, which is headlined Two Reversals and a Missed Opportunity in the Tribune newspaper. And in this, I talk about, now the two reversals that I talk about, the first one, about a month or so ago, the BJP Rules Centre issued a notification on changing the governance of Punjab University. Now, many of you who are alumni of Punjab University, you know that it's one of India's oldest universities. In fact, it predates the partition of India. It was earlier located in Lahore, and after the partition in 1947, it finally, when it found its current home in Chandigarh, it was a very special university with a very special governance structure. It has what is called a syndicate and a senate. I won't go into that, but I'm sure that you've read several stories about this very special structure in the pages of the Tribune newspaper. And those of who are alumni know about this anyway. So on the 30th of October, the Chancellor of the university, who is the Vice President of India, and that's again something very special about PU or Punjab University, which is that the Vice President is the Chancellor. So it goes right all the way up to the top. So a notification was issued which proposed the changing of the structure of the governance of Punjab University, basically bringing down the number of seats in which, in the syndicate and in the Senate. Essentially, the centre, it seemed, the perception was that the centre wanted more control over Punjab University, because right now the governance is that, it's so large that the criticism is that it's so large that it's unwieldy. So reforms were being proposed. Except that what happened was that it created a huge hullabaloo, a huge uproar, and students at Punjab University set up a protest right inside the campus, and lots of outsiders also joined in over the last few weeks. So whether it was farmers, including Nihangs, believe it or not, some people actually even came to support that. There were people from across political parties. There was a singer, Sardar. He's an alum of the Punjab University. He came to support the protest, and figures from civil society. So it became a huge issue, and the bottom line was that there was absolutely no discussion or debate that had been initiated on the part of the BJP Rules Centre, the Ministry of Education, the Human Resources Development Ministry. So within a week of that notification, that was taken back, but the students continued their protest until a couple of days ago, demanding that student union elections that had not taken place over the last 1 year be notified under the older governance structure. So they demanded that that a new schedule be put into place, and that was finally done. And now the students have declared Fateh, or victory. Now, we will not go into what the pros and cons of this notification are. I'm sure that PU definitely needs some reforms, and whether outsiders or political party personages, leaders should have jumped into and exacerbated this fracas. The question here is why there was no discussion or debate on the part of the centre, of the BJP Rules Centre, with those who have stakes in the Punjab University, whether it's students, teachers, and other people. The second incident that has taken place over the last few days, exactly a week or so ago, was a bill that was proposed to have been brought in the winter session of Parliament, which begins on the 1st of December. And this bill proposed that Chandigarh, the status of Chandigarh, be divested from its special position that it has with Punjab right now, and that it be made into a complete union territory. Now, you know, Chandigarh is a union territory, but there is also this special relationship between Chandigarh and Punjab. So the governor of Punjab is also the UT administrator. Now, this bill proposed that Chandigarh be divested of its Punjab affiliation, become a union territory like other union territories in the country, whether it's Daman and Diu, Dadra, Nagar and Haveli, and various other UTs that we have. And that again, dear viewer, as you know well by now, set off another huge uproar. And this time again, all the political parties jumped into the fray, all saying that this cannot happen. Punjab Bachao, Chandigarh Bachao, all kinds of slogans have rocked both Chandigarh and various cities in Punjab over the last week or so. Even the Punjab unit of the BJP, Sunil Jakhar, he in an interview with the Tribune said that that nobody can harm the interests of Punjab. Basically, he didn't openly criticize this bill that was proposed to be brought in the winter session of the Parliament, but it was clear what he was saying. Even the Punjab unit of the BJP was embarrassed about what happened. Again, and let me reiterate this, there was absolutely no discussion or debate, nothing at all, that preceded this bill. Now, we got to know at the Tribune about this because it was put in the list of business, and one MP brought it to our notice. One reporter in the Tribune had the story, and that's how we got to know. And of course, then it became a public issue. And within 24 hours, the BJP rolled it back. So over the last 3 weeks, you've had 2 reversals or 2 rollbacks by the BJP rule centre vis-a-vis these 2 notifications, or 1 bill and 1 notification in Punjab. And the third thing that I'd like to point out to you, dear viewer, and which I call a missed opportunity on the part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which is that, you know, all of you, dear viewer, know that the 350th anniversary of the martyrdom of the 9th Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, was commemorated earlier this week in Anandpur Sahib. It was a big event. We know that he was this incredible guru. I mean, what can I say? Everybody, all of you who are steeped in the tradition of Punjab and the culture of Punjab know about Guru Tegh Bahadur. He was called Hind Di Chadar. And that was because back in 1675, when the cruel, very brutal and oppressive Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb threatened to cut off the head of the Guru and he demanded that he convert to Islam. And this is when the Guru was trying to, or he said that he would give up his life to protect the right of another person from another faith to follow and to believe his own religion. All of you know the story, how Kripa Ram, this Kashmiri Pandit, came to the Guru and said that he was being threatened to convert to Islam, and he came to the Guru for protection and for refuge, and the Guru gave up his life. You all know that story, dear viewer. It's just an incredibly moving story, how one man of one faith gives up his life, sacrifices himself. We know that people in history have given up their lives or sacrificed themselves for their own principles, whether it's in the defense of their faith or something else. But to do that for somebody else of another religion, of another faith, that is truly exceptional. So here, all of Punjab at Anandpur Sahib, which is, as you know, his head was brought by one of his most faithful disciples, Bhai Jeta, and then it was cremated at the Gurdwara, at the Siskanj Gurdwara in Anandpur Sahib, a very holy site. And thousands of people converged on Anandpur Sahib to commemorate this 350th anniversary of his martyrdom. Now there was a commemoration of this event by the ruling Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab. There was a special assembly session. The Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann spoke. So did leaders from the Aam Aadmi Party. Across the board, there were also speakers from the opposition, a very small opposition, as you know. A couple of days after that, the Akali Dal, the Shiromani Akali Dal and the SGPC, and you know the special relationship between the SGPC and the Akali Dal, they commemorated this event of the Guru's martyrdom. And you saw, dear viewer, how the Prime Minister himself hoisted the Dharma Dhwaj, the Hindu flag, atop the Ram Mandir, the big monument that has been built over the last several years or so. Now from Ayodhya, the Prime Minister on Gurpurab, remember that this is Gurpurab, on Gurpurab the Prime Minister travelled from Ayodhya to Kurukshetra. Now Kurukshetra in mythology is the battle where the Mahabharat war was fought. It has the whole significance of the Mahabharata, of the importance of Lord Krishna, how Krishna is on the side of the right, of the side of the Pandavas, and the Prime Minister invoked all of that. But what he also did was talk repeatedly. So he wears this saffron headgear, he dons this saffron sort of handkerchief, but he also repeatedly speaks of the sacrifices of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Now my question is, if the Prime Minister could have gone all the way to Kurukshetra, why did he not come to Anandpur Sahib, which is the holy land, the holy site of Guru Tegh Bahadur? And that's the missed opportunity I talk about. And in my column, dear viewer, I also talk about how there is this tension between the Aam Aadmi-ruled Punjab government and the BJP-ruled centre. Now, it's clear to me that the Prime Minister understands that Punjab has a very special place in the geography of India, if you like, in the history and geography of India. The Prime Minister knows Punjab very well. He has, when he was in the mid-90s, when he was a national party secretary and he was in charge of Himachal Pradesh and Haryana, he lived here in Panchkula, he travelled across Punjab. So he knows this state well. In 2019, when he was Prime Minister, he came to Sultanpur Lodi, which is the shrine dedicated to Guru Nanak. We all know that, to the Gurdwara Ber Sahib. There he sits in Vajrasan, and very devout. He speaks very reverentially about the Gurus. From Sultanpur Lodi, he went in 2019. And remember, dear viewer, earlier that year, in the February of 2019, the Indian Air Force had struck deep inside Pakistan in Balakot. But the Prime Minister puts aside his distaste for Pakistan, ensures that the Kartarpur Sahib corridor from Dera Baba Nanak to the Kartarpur Sahib Gurdwara, which is where Guru Nanak spends the last 18 years of his life. So the point I'm trying to make is that the Prime Minister understands the people of Punjab. He understands Sikhism. So that then underlines my question, which is, why did the Prime Minister not come to Anandpur Sahib to commemorate the 350th anniversary of the Guru's martyrdom? Now, this ties into the fact that the state of Punjab that is in dire straits. We know that the fiscal deficit is really high. We know that the ratio of the state GSDP, the gross state domestic product ratio, is huge. It's over 45%, only second to Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal is a really poor state, and unfortunately, Punjab is a very unfortunate second. We know that in the floods that hit Punjab a few months ago, it was battered, the state was battered, but there has been some unhappiness and tension over the money that the centre was supposed to give the state of Punjab. 1,600 crores says the centre, the Punjab government says much more. There has been all this tension. But I also know that the Prime Minister, because he understands the state of Punjab, also understands that this is a border state. It borders Pakistan. Punjab is not in very good shape, as you all know. There is a big drug addiction problem. Industry that fled in the terrorism years has not really returned. There are all these issues. Punjab needs a healing hand, a healing touch, and it's missing that from the centre. And I will end, dear viewer, with just one more example, which is the by-election in Taran Assembly that took place a few days ago. Now, it was the AAP candidate that won the election, and that was quite predictable. But there was a Shiromani Akali Dal candidate that came second, and guess what? The BJP candidate lost his deposit. Now, last year in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP actually did quite well. It got just over 18% of the vote, which is extraordinary in a state like Punjab. But unfortunately, this tension between the state and the centre continues to persist. So I'm going to end my column here, dear viewer. I'd urge you to read my column in the newspaper. I'd urge you to read all the other articles in the newspaper. Tell us what you think of them. Follow the Tribune on its social media handles. Follow our YouTube channel and tell me what you think about this video. Thank you so much for watching.